Well, welcome back to Eastbrook. It's been an extraordinary and very difficult year for so many people, and I do hope that you're doing okay despite the challenges we've all been through. Of course, on the farm, we just have to keep going. The cows have to be milked, the crops have to be planted, the silage has to be made. And through all these trials and tribulations, the Soil Association's been trying to help those farmers and businesses who are struggling with both the weather and Brexit and so many other challenges. We're also trying to shape future farming and food policy so that we can make it easier for people to do the right thing. The National Food Strategy will be publishing in July, and we've been feeding into that, particularly thinking about how technology may or may not help us go in the right direction. We need to make sure that technologies are serving the kind of society, the kind of food and farming that we want to see in the future. And we've been working with the Climate Change Committee with reports like our one on nitrogen, which is a really overlooked issue as far as climate change goes. So I'm really focused, both at the Soil Association and on my own farm, in getting on with the practical things that we know work. There's things as farmers we can do right now. We can improve our soils, we can plant more trees, we can start things like agroforestry systems where we know there are clear benefits in every direction. Our new project, Soil Association Exchange, feels really important because unless we catch the data, unless we have that evidence, unless we can correlate those changes with the practices we're implementing on our farms, we won't be able to shape the future in the way that we want to. We've got this next decade to turn things around, to make sure that farming is a huge part of the solution, not, as it's seen today, a big part of the problem. And of course, it's not just farmers. We need to continue to change the food in our children's schools to make sure every child gets at least one sustainable, healthy meal a day. We've got to change the way we look after our forests globally to stop deforestation just to feed our industrial animals more and more soya. So 2021 is going to be a critical year. We'll get more detail on the future of agricultural policy. We've got the National Food Strategy reporting, and of course there's the big build-up to COP26 in Glasgow at the end of the year. So there's lots of brilliant commitments and plans around the place, and our job is to help to make those a reality by working with the farmers, the foresters, the school cooks, with all those practical people who are actually at the sharp end. And in all the work that we do, we try to make sure that the triple challenges of climate change, nature depletion, and human health are delivered together through common solutions. I'm often being asked whether I feel positive about the future. And it's hard to answer because, of course, there's still so much in the balance. But I have to say, I do feel more optimistic than I did this time last year. We've seen some really big commitments from countries like China and the States on climate change. We've seen businesses starting to really take this stuff seriously. And perhaps more importantly than anything else, we're seeing people everywhere demanding change. The world does seem to finally recognise that it's time for action. Do have a look at the Soil Association website and find out how you can play your part in securing a better, safer food and farming future. We can only do all that needs to be done with so many friends, supporters and partners by our side. Thank you as ever for all that you do, and do stay with us in this next vital decade.